after such a big blow, um, it's it's hard. It's really hard. You have every right to feel the loss of what you thought your life was going to be like. I go by Maggie, and I was diagnosed with triple negative breast cancer, stage four, like de novo, so immediately to stage four. Um, I was diagnosed in 2022 while applying for my green card because I'm from the Netherlands and I was going to America because my wife is American and we were going to live here. But then it turned out I had cancer. So I had to live here and go straight to, you know, into treatment. I've always loved America as a child and not um for, just for the ideal American dream, but also because it is kind of true because I did make it here even with cancer. So I had this giant bruising feeling in my left breast, and they always start like that. It was like some sort of bruising feeling, and it was soft. And I thought I like to work out as well. Well, don't like to, but I work out as well. I'm just like, oh, it must be like something I did, or my workout bra must have been too tight. And I kind of brushed it off a little bit because I was under the impression that I could not get breast cancer because it was not anything genetic, because that's what I knew wrongly, that your family needs to have it. It needs to be a genetic thing. I didn't know anything about cancer, and I definitely know a lot more now. And it was soft, and they tell you it's a hard little um feeling, a hard little a note in your breast. So it's like, I don't know. But as it grew, it didn't go away. I was very worried. I had a feeling that it wasn't good. Um, so I was here on a travel visa. So going to a doctor and getting scans would be very expensive. So I had to wait to go back to the Netherlands to get it done there. My GP said there was like, well, it's like it's weird because it's soft, so it must be a cyst. So, but let's get a mammogram anyway. When they did a sort of X-ray of my lungs, you have a spot in your lungs. I'm like, oh, geez, come on. He's like, don't worry. It could also be like some sort of scar because lungs get scars all the time from any sort of flu or disease. I was like, oh, okay. And I went into the CDC kind of situation for the level of the Netherlands, where they sent me to the doctor, the state doctor, and they were like, I'm going to send these X-rays to a pulmonary specialist, and pulmonary specialist called me like within 2 hours, like, you need to get a mammogram now because I see you have something in your breast. So my wife is still in the United States, and my I'm staying with my best friend, thank goodness. Um, so I told her, and she's like, get in the car, we're going now. I did my mammogram, I did a biopsy, I was scared to death, cried. I think it was the next day they called me to say, like, hey, guess what? It's benign and the other is malicious. Yeah, so I had three tumors and two were benign and one is malicious. And so they still needed to figure out what type of cancer it was, but they knew it was cancer. And it had spread to my lymph nodes and to my lungs, that they were pretty sure. Um, so then it's unfolded little by little. Like, it was triple negative breast cancer. And then the oncologist there said, oh my God, you have stage four triple negative breast cancer. And this is a very severe diagnosis. And I don't think you'll live longer than 2 years. This was 2 years ago, so I'm still here. Um, so not to freak everybody out. But, and I said, well, that's arguable. That's really what I said. I was really taken aback, but I was also like, um, that's arguable because what I do know is that you don't know, and you don't know enough to be pessimistic. And it's like I do. It's like, okay, we'll see about that. And I sent him an email recently. It's been 2 years since your diagnosis, and I'm still here. So you're wrong. And he was really gracious about it. He said, "I'm really glad to read that you are doing well and that you are still around, and that my diagnoses have been extended to many years." So they wanted me to go on Taxol, I think. So the basic stuff. I was PDL1 positive, which I found out in the car and was like Googling what the heck that was. I know it's not supposed to Google it, but it's good that I found out. I'm like, oh, that's good. So that means I can get immunotherapy. And in the medical oncologist there said, like, that's really good because immunotherapy is really good for you and it will help you survive. I'm like, oh, wow, look at that. How the treatment diagnoses have changed every day. So I wasn't very impressed by diagnoses anymore. So they wanted me to do that. It was a little different in their healthcare approach because it's socialized healthcare. Um, but it's pretty much the same. You get a chair, and you sit there for hours, and you get your lunch, and then you get your treatment. And then, thankfully, I did get my green card, which was an awful process. I write about that on my website because I document that. I was like, I need to. I'm like sometimes reading it. What happened? I Nobody was there at the embassy. I couldn't contact anyone to say like, "Hey, I have stage 4 cancer. I need treatment now." No, 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 no. I had 26 nodes in my lungs and a couple in my liver, I think. So I needed I needed it now. After some lawyering on the American side, thankfully, somebody pushed a button in the consulate, and then I could pick up the ticket, the green card the next day. I got a oncologist. I should have seen two, but I just went with the one that felt really good and just trusted my gut feeling here. That worked out. She was kind of unorthodox in her bedside manner. She wasn't very friendly, but that didn't matter to me as long as she got results. And she said, like, you have a really good chance if I get you on this clinical trial. I'm like, what clinical trial? Well, what's a clinical trial? I'm in my country. I've never heard of a clinical trial. I heard about it in movies, but I'm like, I don't know what that means. I got in the trial. I got Trodelvy with immunotherapy. The cancer slowly went away, and I have been cancer free, as they call it, no evidence of disease for about, well, over a year now. So, and my blood work has been really good all this time. So I totally also went into it blank, very nervously. Um, I didn't understand it at the time. I had a feeling like I asked them like, who's paying for what? Because that's what something in my culture or my previous culture is not a common question. And thankfully in America, you can ask that. So usually you should ask that. Who is paying for what? And I did ask that question. And you should read the contract because I did. And I get paid $30 every treatment, and I put that to where it's a Starbucks card. So also that's the next point is what are they trying to get out of it? So you should know what are you using my body to figure out with this trial because you'll be a lab rat. And there's nothing wrong with that because a lot of these clinical trials pro promote are getting promoted to help other people in a public sense. So that's good. So you should know that. The other thing is what happens at the end of the trial? Can you still use this drug or can you still make use of this scan? How will you know? And when will you know? Who will tell you? And another thing is, do you understand that if you are within that trial, that the trial dictates what happens to you? Yes, that can be very scary, but it's also very, indeed, like you said, it's very good because You'll be monitored every damn week. This is good if you have stage 4 and you have an aggressive cancer. You will be so safe. It's the safest spot for you to be in is when you are in this clinical trial, if you are in a good clinical trial. But there usually they're good. Um, so in my case, I I got 2-year chemo paid by the sponsor. My CT scan was paid by the sponsor. I asked for that. The MRIs, they were not paid by the sponsor. That was from health insurance, which is fine. I think fatigue is for everyone the biggest one. Um, so that one, I get chemo on Fridays. I am exhausted on Friday evening. I sleep mostly throughout the Saturday. Um, I have, I can't eat, I can't drink. That's usually the common denominator. And I somehow gag, and I think it's because of not eating. And when I drink water, I just throw it up. And my oncologist wants me to take all of these medication. I take no medication. I don't take steroids. I don't get steroids in my pre-meds. I've graduated to no Benadryl and no uh, dexamethasone. So now I am simply on Saturday, I just don't eat and drink. By Sunday, I have intense heartburn and I feel awful. I combat it by taking Claritin and I take magnesium for the heartburn. Sometimes it helps. So by Sunday, sometimes I'm fine. The other thing I do is to work out a lot. It helps me with surfing also, but especially also my age, I need to just be doing a lot of strength training. And when I'm starting to recover, I just do a lot of stretching. And well, in my support group, we always say just try to just walk around, even if it is just to the mailbox, just do it. And back. That's the best thing you can do, movement and drinking a lot of water. Well, I'm a big advocate for mental health for cancer patient because I do believe that the squeaky wheels and the ornery ones and the fighters are the ones that make it. The ones that are like, no, oh no, we're not doing this. We're staying alive. Um, but after such a big blow, um, it's it's hard. It's really hard at times to not. It's there is no self-pity in this situation. You have every right to feel the loss of what you thought your life was going to be like. I also feel like um instead of I have a you have to like rephrase your questions in your head. It's like, why me? Why me? Why not me? Because now I feel like I've spared my wife from having cancer or my daughter. Give it to me. I'm good. I can handle it. I can handle it. And that's the wording is very important. The things that you say to yourself are very important. I'm a seize the moment kind of person. When I was 17 years old, I had the opportunity to go by myself to New York City because I really wanted to see it. So I went, I bought a ticket. Um, I'm not scared of being scared. Um, and cancer is very scary. And I wasn't scared of it being a scary thing. Um, yeah, so I've always been like that, but I was scared at some point that I was because it is a big impressive thing to stare death directly in the face. And then I was very immobilized for a while where I had to take breaks and I just would lie in bed and go like my daughter would be in daycare or something and I was just like, is this the end? Is this the end? In the end, you are going to die too. And we're all gonna die. That's basically my point. Like we're all gonna die. How we die, that's what we're scared of. You must have that confidence that that faith. It's not hope, it's faith. You must have the faith the that there is a medicine out there and that there are people out there that do survive. And I am one of those people. I am going to survive. I am healthy. Just say those things. I'm cute. I am sexy. I have no eyebrows, but I'm still sexy. Doesn't matter. Just say it. I'm kind and I am worthy of being treated. I am worthy of living longer. I am. I am here now. Keep saying those, and I write those things down. It's a silly thing. I write it down. I'm like, I am worthy. I am funny. I can do this. I can do this. It's not a problem. I can do this. So you write it down every day and you just soldier on. And one step at a time, we get to do this. And that's how you combat mental health because we still have to live our lives, even if we have cancer or when we have cancer. We still live our lives. I still get to raise my daughter. I still get to raise my son. And I still need to take the trash out, even though it's minus 20, whatever is out there, or 20 degrees out there. And I still get to do all of those things. So I guess that's what keeps me around for some reason until it doesn't anymore. And then we'll figure it out.